Imagine a world where microscopic robots swim through your bloodstream, hunting down cancer cells. Picture tiny machines that can clean up oil spills or gather microplastics from the oceans. Now, what if I told you that these robots aren't made of metal and circuits, but of living cells? Welcome to the world of Xenobots, the first ever living robots. In this video, we're diving deep into the creation of Xenobots, the groundbreaking achievement that's blurring the lines between biology and technology. We'll explore how scientists turned frog cells into programmable machines, the potential applications that could revolutionize medicine and environmental cleanup, and the ethical questions that arise when we start tinkering with the building blocks of life itself. Our story begins in the labs of Tufts University and the University of Vermont. It's 2020, and a team of biologists and computer scientists are about to announce something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. But how did we get here? The idea of creating artificial life has been around for centuries. From the golem of Jewish folklore to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, humans have long dreamed of creating life from scratch. But it wasn't until the 21st century that we finally had the tools to turn this dream into reality. The key breakthroughs came from two seemingly unrelated fields: stem cell research and artificial intelligence. Stem cells gave us the ability to manipulate and repurpose living tissue. AI provided the computational power to design and simulate living systems before we ever picked up a pipette. The team, led by Michael Levin at Tufts and Josh Bongard at the University of Vermont, realized they could combine these technologies to create something entirely new. But they needed a starting point, a source of cells that were versatile enough to be reprogrammed, yet simple enough to work with. Enter the African clawed frog, Xenopus laevis. This unassuming amphibian would lend both its cells and its name to the project, giving us the term Xenobots. The first step in creating Xenobots wasn't in a petri dish, it was inside a computer. The team used an evolutionary algorithm, a form of AI that mimics natural selection, to design thousands of potential body shapes. These virtual creatures were put through their paces in a simulated environment. The algorithm tested their ability to move, manipulate objects, and perform simple tasks. The most successful designs were then refined and improved over hundreds of generations. But a simulation is one thing. Bringing these designs to life is another challenge entirely. The team turned to the frog embryos, harvesting stem cells from the animal pole, a region that typically develops into skin. These cells were then carefully separated and allowed to incubate. Left to their own devices, these cells would naturally adhere to each other, forming spheroids. But the scientists had other plans. Using tiny forceps and an even tinier sculptor's knife, they began to shape the clusters of cells according to the designs created by their AI. It was painstaking work, requiring a steady hand and hours of patience. But gradually, the amorphous blobs of cells began to take on the forms predicted by the computer simulations. And then, something amazing happened. The sculpted forms began to move. So what exactly are these Xenobots? They're not traditional robots. There's no metal, no circuitry, no batteries. But they're not quite natural organisms either. There's something in between, a new class of artifact that challenges our very definition of what it means to be alive. Xenobots are composed entirely of living cells. The outer layer is made of epidermal cells that form a kind of living skin. Inside, cardiac muscle cells act as an engine, their natural contractions allowing the Xenobot to move through its environment. These tiny biorobots, less than a millimeter wide, can propel themselves through water, move small objects, and even work together in swarms. And here's where things get really interesting. They can heal themselves. If a Xenobot is damaged, the cells can work together to repair the injury, something no traditional robot can do. They can survive for weeks without additional nutrients, powered by their own cellular energy stores. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Xenobots is their programmability. By adjusting the initial design and cellular composition, scientists can create Xenobots with different behaviors and capabilities. The creation of Xenobots isn't just a scientific curiosity, it opens up a world of potential applications that could revolutionize fields from medicine to environmental science. In medicine, Xenobots could be programmed to deliver drugs to specific areas of the body. Imagine a swarm of these microscopic robots, each carrying a payload of cancer-fighting drugs, navigating through the bloodstream to target tumors with pinpoint accuracy. In environmental cleanup, Xenobots could be designed to gather microplastics in the ocean or detect and neutralize toxic substances in contaminated water sources. They could even be used for microscopic construction, assembling other machines or structures on a cellular level. On one hand, Xenobots could revolutionize medicine and help solve pressing environmental issues. On the other hand, the ability to create programmable living machines raises concerns about potential misuse. There's also the question of ecological impact. What would happen if Xenobots were accidentally released into the wild? Could they disrupt natural ecosystems? The creators of Xenobots are well aware of these concerns. They're working closely with ethicists and have implemented strict containment protocols. The Xenobots are also designed to be short-lived and incapable of reproduction, minimizing potential risks. As research continues, scientists are exploring new frontiers in Xenobot technology. Recent developments have shown that Xenobots can replicate themselves by gathering loose cells and assembling them into copies, a process called kinematic self-replication. This discovery opens up new possibilities, but also new ethical considerations. Could self-replicating Xenobots become a runaway phenomenon? Researchers are also experimenting with different cell types and more complex designs. Some are even exploring the possibility of integrating neurons to create Xenobots capable of more sophisticated behaviors. Looking further into the future, some scientists envision Xenobots that can be programmed and controlled in real time, perhaps through external stimuli like light or magnetic fields. For centuries, we've drawn a clear line between the natural and the artificial, but Xenobots challenge this distinction. They're artificial in design, but natural in composition. They're programmed, yet capable of surprising behaviors. This blurring of lines between the natural and artificial isn't limited to Xenobots. It's part of a broader trend that includes genetic engineering, synthetic biology, and the development of increasingly lifelike AI. From their origins in computer simulations to their physical creation in the lab, from their potential applications to the ethical dilemmas they pose, Xenobots are pushing the boundaries of our scientific and philosophical understanding. What do you think about Xenobots? Are you excited about their potential or concerned about the risks? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.